Well, hello there. Hope you had a happy week. I've had a good week. There's been lots happening in Goodbye Dullsville world. So remember, you don't have to show off to show up on video like this. And it freaks so many people out. People think you have to be some sort of special person to do this. You don't. You can be young, you can be old, you can be quiet, you can be loud, you can be anything you want online, but you just can't be boring. Right. So this is what this is about. This is about giving you the ideas and the thinking and some of the resources I found during the week. And if you can get some value out of this, well and good for you. Alrighty, so let's just get into this. Oh, and this is live, by the way, so you can, if you want to come on here and have a chat to me now and talk about any of this, I'll do some live coaching for you. Not a problem, whatever you want. But if you go to telljulian.com, you'll see the process there is pretty straightforward. You're just going to need, your camera and your audio. Whack some headphones on too, if you can, and you'll come in, and I'll bring you in. I'll see you come in down here, and I'll just put you on hold. You'll be in the green room for a while, and then I'll bring you in. And if there's a problem and it doesn't work, well, we can try it next week or something like that as well. So don't worry about that if it just doesn't work. This is all very casual, very relaxed, which is part of the learning that I like to give out is that, this doesn't have to be perfect all the time. It's never going to be perfect. There are two types of virtual presenters. There are those who've crashed online and those who haven't yet. It happens to everybody. So if you're going through this process thinking everything is going to be perfect, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's not. And like even when I was in broadcast TV and you had like millions of dollars in infrastructure and a whole team of people, it still crashes. All right, so just deal with that. Alrighty, so this week, clarity. Clarity is one of the big things I'm always talking about to people I help because we've got to take, if we're leading, we've got to take people from confusion to clarity. So we have to learn to speak articulately. And again, articulate is not your enunciation. Hands, fingers are articulated. What we can do with articulation is amazing compared to what we can do with just a club of an approach. So this is what articulated presentation and language is. So it's about learning the tools, getting words, anything we can to help us articulate and take people from confusion to clarity. And so I'm always looking for ideas on this. And this is Philippe Haelters. I don't know if I said that right. From Belgium, but I just saw his LinkedIn profile. I'm always connecting with people on LinkedIn. And look, be a resource, not a sales pitch. That's his whole banner. Now, if you look at my banner, in my headline included, it's about 4 lines long. And other people, it's about, 3, 4 lines long as well. Clarity, man, I knew exactly what this guy offered. And I thought, bingo, just another example. So this just isn't about, showing up online is not, I just don't talk about video. I just don't talk about virtual because it's part of the package. Like your text, your graphics, your presentation, your video, your virtual all goes together. It's like a knife and a fork. A knife by itself has amazing utility. A fork by itself has amazing utility. But put the two together and literally it's changed the world. So all these things mattered. Now, this is Rob Carmichael. He came up in my LinkedIn feed. Rob is a outdoor education type teacher, principal. I'm not sure. That's not fair. Director of Outdoor Experiential Education. Why don't I just read what it actually says? But he's in Thailand, and he posted this video. I'll just come in a little on there so you can see it. Now, this was all shot on an iPhone 13. So remember, it doesn't matter what you use, whether you use a webcam, whether you use the latest Canon DSLR, or whether you use an iPhone 7, like you're seeing me on here right now, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to point this out because, oh, hang on, I was playing this before. This This iPhone 7, now where's my audio going on this? Hang on a minute, I'll bring it in here. It's switched to camera A.
Outdoors, we've been spending time here at the jungle, out at the play yard, out at the beach, planting mangroves. We've been so many places.
Okay, so he's just taking here, he's going to show you, and he takes you through, and all these kids on this experiential vacation. So the first thing I wanted to mention there was what iPhone 13 came out with was this cinematic mode where you just go in, and instead of selecting normal video, you select cinematic mode, and it essentially blurs the background a little bit, which is this cinematic technique. Now, Rob's done a little bit differently here. He's framed quite wide, which typically doesn't give you the best effect, but I'm not here to criticize Rob about that. This is a great video, but it's just a point that, even with these cameras, I mean, that these phones, that helps blur the background a bit, which just pushes you out just a little bit more. But that wasn't really what I wanted to mention in this. This was that he's used video. Like, he's got a phone, he's made a video, and he's put it out there, and you get a really good idea of what he's doing. Show, don't tell. Don't tell people what you're doing. Show people what you're doing. And then the next thing I want to point out here is just this. So this is his B-roll, his overlay, where he's just now showing us a little bit around. And you see the camera is moving forward all the time. Here we go. We're sort of moving forward. We're moving forward. People are coming towards the lens. This is a very good technique to use, where the camera's always slightly in motion. And if you can make it on this axis where you're towards the camera and away from the camera, because this is what is called kinetic editing, right? So this is kinetic editing, this, where you're always looking at this one thing in the middle of frame like this, but it seems to be this energy just keeps the shots moving. It's the best way I can describe it. So why have we got Told Julian up there? Thanks, Rob. That was just a great example of what you can do and get your message out there just using the technology that you've got. All right, this is Richard Moore, another one out of my LinkedIn feed. Richard is like a LinkedIn, shows you how to use LinkedIn. I help consultants get clients on LinkedIn. Why don't I just read it, for goodness sake? So he put this post out, 5 rules I use to position myself on LinkedIn. So number 1, never ask permission. That's not the one I'm after here. It was number 2. It was about selfies. So when there's this thing now, people are putting more and more selfies on LinkedIn, and clearly you can tell they've had the camera and they've been pouting and trying to look curious, enigmatic, and here's me busy. I'm not criticizing people for doing that, because clearly when you look at the response, it works for certain people, but I can't do that. Like, I would find it very odd for me to take a posed selfie and just place that, because, like, they're big full frame images of your face. And I'm curious to know what you think about that, because what Richard says he does, he finds it uncomfortable and slightly off-putting to this. So if it's a selfie, it's always of him in action, and he puts some up of him speaking in front of a live group of people. Now, you may not have the opportunity to do that. So I'm just curious, because I don't have the confidence to put a selfie up of myself. Yet I have the confidence to do this, because I'm turning up and adding value and trying to be useful and trying to help you. And therefore, my confidence is enormous doing this. So I'm just interested to know. Now, this is Chad Littlefield. Again, I think this came up in my LinkedIn profile. Chad helps people with ways of getting together and facilitating group sessions. And he put this video up about what he does at the start of a keynote talk. and it's really quite interesting. So what Chad goes out and rather than tries to tell people and just deliver information, he makes it a more of inclusive experience when there's maybe 200 or 300 people in the audience. So what he does, he walks out and the first thing he goes, how many people in here have been working 5 years? Now, show of hands. How many people have been working 10 years, 20 years? So, what do you think the average of experience? Would it be 20 years experience in this crowd per person? Well, let's have a look around. There looks to be 100 people in the crowd. So, what's that? It's 2,000 hours of collective experience. That's what you've got. And I'm up here and I know nothing really about your industry. So I'm not going to be up here and try to say that I know more than you know. Clearly, I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come at it from a different angle. Now, in that simple thing, that simple process he's done there is that he has included the audience. So rather than just talking to people, he's made this a back and forth. So, and you know, the audience is warmed up and engaged at this stage. And he's also shown humility. He's going, look, I know something, but I'm not better than you. And so it's a really powerful technique. Now, you can use this technique online as well. This is not just in the real world. So if you're doing a virtual presentation, there's a great way that you can show up. Now, if you want to know more about a whole lot of different ideas, he's put this video up I found on YouTube. Just check out Chad Littlefield, 10 quick in-person exercises. You'll find it. He shows his technique and explains it and gives you a whole range of other different techniques that you can use in your virtual presentations. Bingo, this is a great video. It's a free resource. Go check it out. All right, this is Lena Sesardic. Sesardic. I think Lena's from Canada, right? But this example of what she's doing here, I'll just zoom out so you can see the full frame. This is a new, well, it's an old technique, but it's popular at the moment, where what you do is that you create almost a green screen of yourself. So that's her speaking just on a smartphone, and she's removed the background. Now, typically you had to do this by putting a green screen behind you, and then you click the button and anything that was green disappeared. Now, and you've seen this in Zoom, you know, with your, it can get rid of your backgrounds. This is just becoming standard in so many apps that you can remove a background. So she's just put herself in front of the screen, the LinkedIn profile of the person she's talking about. And this is a great technique because you can, it becomes immediate. It becomes very personal and you can talk and point. And it's almost sort of what I'm doing here with this, you know, I'm just holding my phone talking about this now. So this is a very, very easy way for you to create videos. So if you see something or you want to shout somebody out who's done value to, you know, given you value, just use this process. Don't worry about how it's done. Just go and do a little bit of searching online. You'll find out how it's done. If you want to do this on your phone and just straight up, CapCut, CapCut. It's a free editing software. It will remove your background. You can put it over, you know, any background that you want. So great. Thanks, Lena. That was a great. This is Google Think. Now, Google Think is, oh, I don't even know what to call it. It's just, it's offered by Google. It's, they put out all different insights and research, but using the power of big data that Google has. And so I follow the video and the virtual ones here. And this one came out the other day, why people are watching YouTube. So they've done the research. You can follow the links and get all the data yourself. It's a point I want to make at the end here. So the three things they said: people go onto YouTube for thoughtful perspectives. So this idea is they want to know, you know, things are going on in the news and they're going on in their industry. They want to go and listen to someone talk it through. So this is almost replacing, you know, an old school editorials or opinion pieces in, you know, mainstream media. So that's one reason people go on. The other reason is it's time well spent. Rather than just going on and, you know, going through your reels and, you know, you spend half an hour, and it's, you know, gone by and you haven't achieved anything. you can go onto YouTube and get this longer form content, and you actually feel like you're learning something out of it. And the other reason is connecting. People love connecting with the authenticity of the creators, and being part of their world and other people's worlds as well. But the point about all these is longer content works well, because I get so many people asking, how long is the perfect video? How long should I make videos? Like there's some magic number. The reality is you need short form content, so maybe 30, 60, 90 seconds long, whatever, shorter videos. But then long content works well as well. It's like this is a long content form that I do. And I find it a very, very easy way to make long content video using all this live streaming software. Like I don't have to edit any of this. However long this video goes, if it's a 15-minute video, it takes me 15 minutes to make. Like I'm done once I've done this. But the people get hung up about, oh, you can't make it long. Yes, you can. Do you know that Nissan, however you say it, just made an ad within the last 4 to 6 months? Do you know how long the ad was? One of their most successful ads ever? 4 hours. I kid you not. Go check it out. The way people are interacting and behaving is different. And if you think everything has to be short, you're playing by the old rules, and you will not win a new game playing by the old rules. So just pointing this out. This is PJ. I connected up only a couple of weeks ago with PJ on LinkedIn, and what he does is makes these graphics, and you can go and use them. Takes complex ideas and simplifies them down. This was a carousel where he had 10 graphics on, and this was the first one. And I looked at it, and I just thought, compared to the other work that he does, this doesn't work. This was so complex, and there were too many ideas going on in here. So I told him, this is the point. So this was the conversation back and forth. I just said, oh, it wasn't working for me. He says, oh, is it too abstract? And I just said, yeah, I had too many jots and ideas to join, but keep doing it. And he came back and said, I carried away a little bit. I just wanted to point out that this is generally how criticism goes on LinkedIn rather than other platforms. So if you've got something to say and you're worried that you're going to get criticized, you're worrying about the wrong thing. There's really just thoughtful, open discussion goes on so much of LinkedIn. And I would say, I can't speak for other platforms, because even though, I've done the whole YouTube thing years ago, this is really the platform I know. And I also know Facebook groups which is constructive as well. So, but the point is, if you're not putting your content up because you're worried about criticism, wrong. And two, who are you? Honestly, you've got to ask yourself this: who are you to be above criticism? Like, we all will get some sort of criticism. So stop thinking that this is this big bogeyman that's going to ruin it, your whole future. It's not. Put up content, put it up respectfully, be sincere about it, put it up with a service mindset that you're going to help people, and you'll find that this will work well for you. Now, just want to briefly mention this, and the lesson in this is Google Project Starline, and there's another company I forgot are doing this, but what it is, like we do Zoom, and it's just this flat little screen, and it's bad quality, and it's Zoom is what it is, right? It's good, but it's got its limitations. They're working on this. So this is you would buy this screen, and it comes with those modules around the side. They're microphones and cameras, and also depth maps as well. So you sit in one and somebody sits in the other one. And when you sit there, it looks like you're looking at a real person, and you look at you don't have to, like I'm looking at the camera here. You don't have to look at a camera. You can look at it their eyes, but it looks like you're looking at each other. This whole computational power of the video and the depth mapping makes it look like it's real, and you can move your head around. And like if someone was holding something, there, you could lean down and look up and look underneath and see it. So it becomes 3D. It's not holographic, but it's another visual representation of what you think something holographic would be, where it's three-dimensional. Now, you're not going to use this right away. I'm not going to use this right away. A big corporate companies will buy these, and I'll stop sending people on planes to have one-on-one meetings, or reduce the number. But this is the future. But the lesson here is computational power. This is all runs by is the processing power that is available. So it's not the quality of the camera. It's not the quality of the microphones. When you're from now on, forget about that stuff. If you have spare money, keep putting it in to build up your computational power. So what does that mean? It means go buy yourself a new laptop with the latest M2 chip and eventually M3 chip. Get as much processing power as you can. Get as much memory as you can. This is all going to be way more valuable to you than worrying about which cameras should I get. And this is the future, computational power. Oh, there you go. And that is what has been on my radar this month. So I hope that was useful to you. Wonderful it is, if it is. Oh, hang on. Louise Kelly is joining. I got Louise. Let me bring in Louise. Okay. Hello, Louise. I'm going to bring you in as guest one now.
I haven't got any questions.
Hey, yeah, no, brilliant. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks, Julian. I stumbled across. I wasn't expecting to come online. I was just going into some, and now I've got you playing in the background, and I've got to work out how to just. That's right, I've muted it now.
Yeah.
A bit distracting. So you're doing this live, and what I'm seeing on LinkedIn, there's a lag or something. I don't understand.
So just explain that again.
I'm looking at your video, but I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
What's going on?
and that's what happens. So when we go live, there is generally 15-20 second delay, depending on the platform, depending on the time of day. But there is always.
Oh my God! I've just come on. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. There you go. See, it's funny, isn't it? And so that's so that delay is almost 30 seconds.
Thank you enough. All the technology you're sharing, just so rich. Thanks, Julian. It's really amazing, and I'm surprised you got low numbers. I mean, I'm sure people watch it back when it fits in with their lifestyle.
It's funny, like the more effort I put into this, the lower my numbers go. Yeah. It's funny.
I wonder if that equates to, when people give things away for free, there's less value perceived on something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's part of it as well, but there's also part of it is that there is so much content out there. There is so much competition for attention.
Yeah.
Is that, so even though it's more effort I'm putting in, I'm also going further into the future when it's just so busy out there. But I don't do it for numbers and likes now.
Yeah.
I turn up because and so many people also go, I've been following your stuff for years. And I go, well, who are you? They say, I never say anything. So you just don't know, but your purpose has to be bigger than your need for the numbers, because if it's not, you won't survive doing this at all.
But also, I mean, like you're sharing things, you're curating them for people that are interested in using these tools and how they might use them. I find every time I see something that you share, it inspires me, and then other things might appear, like you activating your RAS and things start appearing for you. But I assume also that you'll have some great conversations because you've been generous and shared. People will want to share back, reciprocity, which I
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
can't pronounce very well.
And it's part of being too, it's part of being also that, I mean, uh, you want to be the, I, I want to lead by example. And so part of this is showing up and me being a news source, like a place where, because this Goodbye Dullsville, I mean, I started this 3 weeks ago, and it was just an idea that I had. I thought, I'm always looking at all this stuff, and I'm just putting it in my virtual drawers. And I thought, what good is that? So why don't I just create this? And it's very easy for me to do because as I'm finding stuff during the week, like I literally just screenshot something and then I put it in notes on my iPhone and on my desktop. And then as I'm speaking, like, I mean, I literally there's my phone and it's just connected via a wire to my computer. And then I just come up and I'm just scrolling through.
Amazing. Your
I'm
notes.
just scrolling through my notes. I mean, it's just my phone with my credit cards in it. And like what I'm saying is none of this takes me time to do. So it's
and the transcription. What are you using for the transcription? Because it's really
so
good. It's very accurate.
nothing. Okay, so I tell you what. This is it, right? I'll show you. Hang on.
Ooh, I can't see that. Oh, it's a square.
Yeah. And there's a checkbox on my thing, and I go check, and that's it. That's as much effort as I do. It says, "Do you want transcriptions? Don't you want on LinkedIn? Yes or no?"
Yeah, yeah. And I love when I'm traveling, like I'm commuting or something like that. I can look at transcriptions because I don't want to have the volume on, and if you're on a bus or something, if I haven't put in headsets, I love transcriptions.
Yeah, well, they're pretty much expected now. And the other thing is that in the US, there's actually laws. It's not that enforced online, but certainly in broadcast media, there's laws that say you have to have closed captions, like it's enshrined. It's for accessibility laws.
Yeah,
over there.
inclusivity. Yeah,
Inclusivity. Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good.
So,
all right. Well, I'm a fan. Have you got a question for me?
so where are you?
I'm in Perth.
Oh, okay, right.
And
right.
I love living in Perth. I honestly think it's the best kept secret in the world. And I've been here for about 30 years. I'm pinching myself still that I live here. And I know it's been cut off, but now we've got things like this. I've got the whole world coming to me. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was speaking to someone, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and they were saying, they always wished that they had been able to live in New York because if they lived in New York, their business would have gone much better. I went, really? Like if your content, like if what you offer isn't good, it's not going to work in any better in somewhere like that. They go, oh yeah, but the networking, and I go, still, I said, there's too much choice out here now. I mean, we've all got. We all just do this until we find something that resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. And just seeing how you've set everything up and you're doing it LinkedIn Live and everything like that. All of these techniques that you're using. It's
so
all.
What are you on? Are you PC or Mac?
I'm PC and Android.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not. The thing is, this is so because people go, oh, should I switch to Mac to do this? No. So, number one thing you should do with your technology is look around and in your industry, in your area, what are others using? And that's what you want to use. You do not want to have a different, setup than those people.
I'm close friends with Lisa Evans, and she is an Apple girl to the core.
Yeah.
So her setup's great, but I don't want to learn Apple stuff. So I think you're using Ecamm, aren't you?
Yeah, which is Apple, Mac.
Apple.
So,
yeah.
But the thing is that you can. So OBS Studio is a free It works Mac and PC. My God, you can do all this with OBS Studio. It's
Mm,
just a different
mm,
setup, the way it
mm.
works. What is great about something like Ecamm is it's got the connection. So for me to go live is I just click on my button and I can choose. So I'm going live now to LinkedIn, to Facebook, and to YouTube, and so
Wow.
that's all just going in there. And so
Yeah.
when I'm finished, that's all uploaded. It's all done. I've put in my metadata, and my metadata is just just copy and paste the same thing out of a Word doc in every day. So when
Gosh.
I'm saying like so we're coming up to 31 minutes. I've
Yeah.
created 30 minutes of content that somehow might be useful to somewhere.
Yeah.
It's now on LinkedIn, Facebook and YouTube. And when I hit stop, it's done. And even you'll see that I've done my video intro. I don't know if you've seen my opener. I got this
I
little
missed it
dials.
today, but I did see either last week or the week before.
Yeah, so I've just put that in because what you want to do when you go live, because of that lag,
Yeah.
you want to see if you're going live. Now, I mean, if I had someone else here, like in the
Yeah.
control room, they would take care of that, but we just do it ourselves. So
Amazing.
So I've made that 57-second, and the reason it's 57 seconds is that's how long my piece of music was. Like that was the reason. But
Yeah.
roughly a minute
Yeah.
intro that I can play, and it's got some text up there. If you want to be a confident video presenter, if you're all this, so there's a bit of value in there as well. And it's a little bit entertaining. And so that allows me to look at I look at LinkedIn to see what you're looking at. And I say, oh, bang, it's popped up. I can see that it's
Yeah.
working. And then I switch to Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's working. And that roughly takes me, the minute. And then I come
Yeah.
back and the video
And you're
finishes and then it's set. So it just immediately comes to my camera
yeah.
and I talk through. Then I just switch to, to this, and I talk through with my phone,
Yeah.
and then I
So
can
with
come
that
back and
you've got quite big buttons that you can just go straight. You can
okay,
feel your way. Yeah.
yes. So that's not Ecamm. You're right.
Oh.
I do have that. That's a separate device called a Stream Deck, and there's different brands of these, but that's
Ah.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's
Sorry.
that's separate. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
all this does is replace those two things.
Wow.
Okay. I can do
Yeah.
everything I do on this, but this I have to hold down two or three keys at once
Yeah.
or look. This is just visually so much easier.
Yeah, and also you don't have to break eye contact when you're just if you've got preset buttons that are quite large. It's so much easier than doing 3 different controls on your keyboard, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do break eye contact, but it's just I mean I quickly look down and it's not again a lot of people get
Yeah.
hung up that this all has to be perfect. This has to be like a TV news broadcast. No, it doesn't. Like I was talking about that earlier, right at the start of this. I was saying this crashes all the time. Like when I say all the time, like every other week something goes wrong, and if you're trying to make it perfect all the time, there's two sorts of virtual presenters: those who have crashed and those who haven't yet. All right, that's sort. It happens to everyone, and all you do is deal with it with grace and a smile, and go, okay, sun's gonna,
Mm.
the world will keep turning.
I
It,
have a much higher depth of trust when people make mistakes and then how they deal with it than with something that seems perfect. Like the Stepford Wives. I have deep distrust of anything that seems perfect.
yeah, that's actually there's the scientific the what's it called? Oh, I talk about it and teach. I can't even think of it. There's a process. The pratfall effect. That's the pratfall effect. So you know what a pratfall is. Like in the old Buster Keaton or comedy movies. You walk along and you slip on a banana peel and bang.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You're down on the ground. So that's a pratfall, like a comedic
Oh, like
fall.
endearing.
Yeah, but and so the pratfall effect says that if you're a person of competence and you show occasional incompetence with humility, it builds trust in you. So
Yeah,
it's
wow.
exactly what you were saying. So it's been a principle they've used this in advertising, for decades. They build in little
Yeah,
imperfections in characters. Makes us more likable. So it's actually called the
yeah.
pratfall effect.
Thanks for that. I haven't come
Yeah,
across that before. I love learning new things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go.
Oh, thank you.
But this is a great lesson if anyone was watching this now, is that you just took the opportunity to jump on and come on. And generally, and I would say generally, 99 times out of 100, when you show up online, you get benefit out of it
Mm, mm.
somehow. I mean, even if you came on and your microphone didn't work and we had to go, well, I will see you next week. There's learning in that as well. People are just so afraid of turning up because I think one little
I
imperfections.
didn't expect to be live on your
Yeah.
show. I
Oh,
honestly didn't. I was just curious to see what happened when I pressed that button.
yeah, yeah, and that's another thing. So this tell Julian button I've got
Yeah.
here, it's just an easy way because if I gave you the other link, it was www.ecam slash and about 5 numbers that you had to put
Mm,
in, but this is
mm.
just by a domain name. That's simple, and you can find you'll find uh, and something that works. It's easy to remember, and it's just very easy to send somebody to this to get them to come in live.
Yeah, the first couple of times I tried to go on it, I didn't realize I didn't have cameras or enabled. Like I had to change my settings,
Right.
which was useful. I worked my way through it.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
So thanks, Julian.
you're welcome.
I might
Yeah.
not. I might see you in the flesh in Perth next year then.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm working on that. See if I can make that happen.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean for the
Yeah.
PSA convention?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. That'd
Yeah.
be good.
All right. Well, I'll hang up and adios you. Thank you for a
Good.
wonderful surprise. Thanks, Julian.
Yeah. Thanks. Lovely.
Right.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. That's how it works. You guys have a lovely, lovely week, and I will see you whenever.